Hello, my fellow peasants. How you doing? Got to talk about it. What just happened in the Rebirth? I thought, rather than doing just the boring ass highlights montage of my streams, I thought that's not sufficient. I've got too many thoughts, too many feelings, and I might as well do it with my man titties out in this mosquito infested pool with my man bun. And damn, yo, I just got done playing through the Nibelheim section and just ended calm, and I'm busting with things I've got to talk about. I think that's going to be the theme throughout the whole playthrough, more or less. So yeah, for those who aren't really into watching whole live streams, I thought me coming actually vocalizing my thoughts after I've marinated in them, and I am marinating. What an opening, what a stonker. It doesn't matter how many times I watched the trailers leading up to this, I still was not expecting the game to look this good. Oh my god, the weather systems, the environmental detail, even the boring ass, dead mountains of Nibelheim. Just all this rich foliage and lighting and the caves and the Mako crystals and the combat, which is so freaking fun straight out the gate. The fact that I've just played with freaking Zack, Sephiroth and Claude in this first 3-4 hours, it's so much more above my expectations. I am so happy, guys. This is the most pumped, I was gonna say in a while, most pumped I've been in a while, but nah, this is also how 16 felt. This is how 16 felt in the first, honestly up to 60-70%. I just hope 7 Remake or Rebirth can follow through with a killer ending. I was fans satisfied. Because yeah, 16 was not that, for me personally. But yeah, just random thoughts from the playthrough today. So yeah, they've got little twists, they've got little subtle weaves of all this new compilation stuff, but once again, it's not derailing the faithfulness, the faithful feeling. It's just these extra little additions that are so juicy and so powerful at the same time. Little things like, I just went through the Nibelheim burning, and I caught the bit about Claudia, Cloud thinking that she said, you have to escape, you have to live, which of course was actually Zack's lines, his death on the cliffs. And Cloud's obviously muddling that up, but I totally missed the part where there's the soldier on the floor, and the soldier goes to say, "Ma." It doesn't get the full mum out. That was actually Cloud laying there. Oh, all of these subtle, cool little weaves. The whole thing between the 5-year and the 7-year, that trip in his brain out, which I was chatting to Brie about that. Now, that's curious. I don't know what your memory of it is, guys, but I really thought that, I thought, first of all, that Zack, I need to go back and watch the scenes, but he picked Tifa up and then carried her body out of the way, and then Cloud came. Brie reminded me, no, Zack just shows up and he just runs straight up the stairs. I thought it was Zack that picked him up. But either way, I then thought, Cloud shows up and Tifa realizes, but doesn't she even refer to the promise, him keeping it? So basically the idea that Tifa did know he was at Nibelheim. I thought that was the case, but yeah, obviously the Tifa in this has no clue that he was at Nibelheim whatsoever. And I just want to talk about that a bit because it's a bit crazy, right? Somebody posted something in my video. They said, have they retconned the Buster Sword to where it's now like a commonplace weapon? Because we had the news report, right? And it said the fugitive is armed with a Buster Sword. Not the Buster Sword. The fact that we'd even know the name of a Buster Sword. Because yeah, obviously we was always under the impression this was a one-off, Angeal-only weapon. But, so yeah, I don't know if it necessarily means that. It's just what my mind got ticking on is, why is Tifa so bamboozled by it? I get that there's stuff that she's just not saying, she's awkward, she kind of shuts down to the whole thing just because it's kind of terrifying and deeply disturbing, and she knows Cloud's deeply disturbed and doesn't want to rock the boat, but it just feels to me basically that she does remember seeing this black-haired dude, Zack, with a Buster Sword. That should be sufficient to be like, yeah, Cloud, you weren't there. It was a black-haired dude with your Buster Sword. Put 1 and 2 together. Cloud thinks he was there. Cloud now has Buster Sword. Dude who was actually there had Buster Sword. You know, I don't know. It's all weird, that part. But what's even, well, this isn't weird. I think this is freaking cool. I just got to the part where the division between Tifa and Cloud. They just had a spicy little domestic. And I don't know. I agree with Brie. It's like, Cloud, you're being an arsehole. When Tifa said, oh, I was happy that you were back. And maybe I jumped the gun, or maybe I shouldn't have got happy. Cloud says, guess so. And I watched it again, I was like, arsehole, Cloud. And then Brie was even like more spicy about it. And then I stopped, I was like, yeah, but at the end of the day, galactic world-ending parasite depression squid. At the end of the day, you know, if something like that doesn't make you act up a bit, what will? Because yeah, like, obviously Cloud's suspecting Tifa of even being real already. And this is crazy, but it's so cool because, you know, so many of my videos have been talking about the crux of Sephiroth's plan failed in OG because he didn't successfully drive a wedge. And here we have this wedge already so much more hammered in. And it got me thinking back to all the things that have like contributed to this. It's not only the memory twist ups and obviously what we just saw, you know, Sephiroth hopping in, I killed her. Oh, you know I killed her, so who is she? Like sowing the seeds of doubt. But when you go back to the remake, how often he was doing that as well. Like for example, even the first opening bombing mission, you know, when Cloud sees young Tifa, and there's the memory thing, and then Tifa is angry. It looks like she's yelling at Cloud. And yeah, the directors confirmed that that's just in his head. Tifa obviously was never mean to Cloud actively, didn't hate him. But that's how Cloud's seeing it. And I always thought that, oh, that's Cloud's like insecurity. Oh, the reason why, no, Tifa was never actively my friend is because she was mean. Like all the kids that are mean to me. Now I'm thinking, shit, no. Is that actually a Genova twist? A Sephiroth twist? To like destabilize the relationship even more. And then you know, that really tied in with Marco, Cloud almost going and executing him, Tifa jumping in the way. You know, what was it? I'm gonna look after him and can I trust you to not do anything? Like, things that deeply destroy or like damage the image, and that was really clear when Johnny, fucking Cloud almost killing Johnny. That was a big one. And yeah, just all these little things that if you go and you piece them together, you're like, you can really see why Cloud and Tifa have this frosty ass start to a relationship. And it's just so cool. It's just so very cool. The part about Red, I've riffed this on the stream, him jumping up in the helicopter and snapping. You know, so that Aerith got free back in his axe care. By the way, I'm stumbling over my words because I've blown my left ear out. Can't really hear myself. I have such a good time here in Bali. I'm getting to play the Rebirth here. Getting to see my twin get married. I'm very happy, guys. I'm very happy. Yeah, I wonder with that Red thing, if that was just like on pure animal instinct, or whether or not it was the lifestream acting through Red to, you know, bend the fate, or the threads of fate, slightly more in like Aerith's favour, Zack's favour. Possibly, like he's an animal, you know, the lifestream in the planet could act through him, I think, a lot stronger, or easier. And yeah, then obviously Zack goes in and actually gets Aerith and checks her breathing. She's still alive. I said it. And I did that Pippin meme. He's still alive. He's still alive. He's trying to burn Boromir. Yeah, man, they're in coma spaces. That's straight up confirmed. I don't know, I could be wrong. The idea that it's just their spirit bodies that are off somewhere, yeah, seems to be the case. And I think that was more or less confirmed when they said the world of Livestream and the world of Chaos. I love this configuration. I love what they've done here, these two separate lines. That, yeah, I don't think they're timelines, but really curiously, Brie just popped up on something I missed. I was speaking to, what was his name, Broden, the guy in the inn. He looks a lot like Grimoire Valentine. yeah, I was listening to him, and actually on the radio, it says that a tornado just tore through sector 0, 1 and 2 there as well. So that's happened on both sides. That's crazy. Calm, I mean, god damn, they have gone so hard with Calm. So hard, so over the top. I love it. Oh my god, I'm feeling Nibelheim, seeing at night, one of the villagers. God, these are locations that are just hard imprinted on my wee little peasant-y heart, and just to see it so alive, so vibrant, so detailed, so engaging, so immersive. Fuck. It's so hype. And yeah, one of the cool, Queen's Blood. I'm playing Queen's Blood, loving that game. Really freaking fun. Yeah, that one NPC called Baron Carlgate. I knew that name, Carlgate. And I had to go back. I was like, where have I heard that recently? In very recent times. And there it was. It's on Vidau's. If anyone types in Vidau, Veiled, the leader of the Ex-Turk, it's in his wiki. Because yeah, one of his stories post Dirge of Cerberus, or actually start of Dirge of Cerberus, when he hooks up with Reeve Tuetzi to form the World Regenesis Organization. One of the stories is about a rogue soldier called Mutton Carlgate. He's a sadistic, highly sadistic. I got a mosquito bite on my back. I've got to keep dipping to get the squeaks. They're everywhere. That basically he has gone rogue, and he wants to set up a second Midgar, or a second city next to Midgar. So basically become like a leader of his own little empire. Like he has President Shinra levels of goals and ambitions. Well, maybe not as high as President Shinra. I mean, that motherfucker wanted to create like a Neo paradise. But yeah, like he's basically a big enough threat that the leader of the Ex-Turks, the former one, who only really comes out when there's planetary threats, like that sort of level. There's a whole story about hunting down Karl Martingate. And to see Baron Carlgate talking about this epic wall he's built in Calm, when whoever Karl Martingate is wants to build something close to Midgar. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on, but it's a Vidau story. So, by the way, everything I'm saying is just at this point of the playthrough. Some of you are watching it and you're going to have answers to the things that I'm riffing. Please do not spoil. Please, I beg ye. I think the fun of like, if you guys like this format, these videos, is that I'm going to be riffing about what's going on in my brain as it's unfolding. Theorizing and speculating and stipulating, and the copium brain mechanisms that will be going on. I think this will be really, really freaking fun. It'll also mean that I'll be doing it in all different locations around the world. So I'm off to Australia, then New Zealand, and South Korea, loads of places here in Bali. It'll be fun. It'll be really, really fun. Because yeah, this playthrough right here, now I said it could be my last on the channel. I'm pretty doubtful it will be the last. In fact, I'm almost certain. It's just I'm looking for the Rebirth to show me the passion. Make me excited, make me genuinely, authentically excited about streaming and channel stuff, and carving out the space to keep being a live stream and video content creator while I'm doing all the other projects and work that I'm doing. For me, this has been about a shift of doing this only for fun, only for excitement. This is really what it was always about for me, covering Final Fantasy in the channel. Unfortunately, like most things, your brain naturally ends up treating it like work, caring about the algorithm, caring about the results, and mopeds. I don't know, it's just detrimental to why I came into this channel, why I'm doing it, why I fell in love with it. Why I'm in love with the series. Could be the last, but frankly, being back and just the few hours that I've done playing already, I am enjoying it so much, guys. And to see how many of you are turning out again, and the fact that we've got Persona 3 out there, I'll do that. Tales of Arise was having a blast with, Endwalkers, all these things I want to play. But yeah, anyway, back to the Rebirth so far. So yeah, besides the incredible lighting and the weather systems and this fluid ass feeling combat, there's skill to this. There's raw strategy, raw skill, and I'm in the early parts of it. There's so much style, the air juggling aspect of it, how fluid it feels. I obviously only done the Sephiroth and Cloud team attack so far, but that's really cool. I mean, I was rocking with MEATY. meteor, my friends. In the first 2 hours, like, remember old turn-based days? You usually had attack, steal, like one magic. You did not have shit back in the old days. So this is really rich, really spicy amount of abilities, spells, switch around this many characters. I honestly do feel like they've nailed it. They've nailed the combat, that mix between turn-based and action. But they've picked up the pace with it even further. Like, this really is the one. I personally, with the quick switching and now the team attacks, I could not be happier with how the combat system is laid out. But once again, I do have a little gripe. I know some of you are going to low at this and be like, oh, but you've already died 5 times, Pez. Yes. I only just finished the Nibelheim section, which, by the way, I never played the demo. That's why I'm riffing about it now. I didn't play the demo. Yes, I've died 5 times. See, senor, I admit it. I ain't ashamed, because I ain't healing. Because yeah, at the end of the day, guys, let's be real. Like, you've got revive, you've got cure, you've got more items than like you can carry. Like, I broke open like 3 crates stood next to each other. The amount of loot I got out of it. Got like 6 mega potions, ethers. At the end of the day, if you're healing, like you ain't gonna be running the risk of dying, basically. And yeah, I'm in dynamic mode for this playthrough. But once again, it's just like what I did with 16, you know? I'm just gonna adjust and play with the difficulty. I like the odd wipe here and there. I had to fight the insecty creature, whatever the fuck his name was, again, and I got a deeper appreciation of his mechanics because of it. You know, I ran all of 16 with an infantry blade, for Christ's sake. No accessories, no gear, no toggle heals, like the whole way through. And really had no challenge. What I can instantly say is that I can tell that's not the case. I am getting hit pretty hard. I am getting a little bit poom powed. And some of you were saying, like, yeah, by like chapter 7 and beyond, it actually gets really, really difficult. So that's cool, that's cool. I'll have to wait and see that for myself, but having an absolute blast. Having a blast, and I've not even begun to get all the characters that I'm gonna have. Once I've got Tiff, and I've got Cloud, I've got Aerith, and Red, and Kate frickin' Seth, and Yuffie with the shangs. Wow! Ooh! Oh God, I feel like a little kid again. Damn! The magic of what made me fall in love with OG FF7 it's back, it's here, it's back in my body, and I feel it. And like I said at the start of this playthrough, honestly, this is what I feel like I've been waiting 8 years for. Because yes, I know we've had the first part of the remake, but that was, yeah, it was the build phase, it was the development phase. That was always going to be difficult when Square wanted to pump up this series to what like its true maximum potential is. So while Mythical was epic, you know, anyone who's played, all of you know, who have played OG FF7, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mythical was dope, but the real magic, the real holy nipperoonies googly moogly, that happened upon the leaving of Midgar. And it was that moment that, you know, the game just went for most of us. And I think we all have that imprinted in our minds to this day. This is why I built the channel. This is what I made it around. So it just really feels like finally, like, I'm arriving at that point of the feeling, why I started this, what my unbounding like hype was all geared up for. And it just feels surreal to finally be here, while also being here in this dope-ass place. Let's go for a little schwam. Please don't come off into the pool, please. I'm gonna dip the stick. I'm dipping the stick, that should be fine, right? And yeah, the moment that really hit it for me, I was like, oh my God, yes. This was what the trilogy was for, these long waits. Because since Remake was announced, it's been how long? When was this fucking thing announced? 2016 or something? What's it been, like 9 years? It's been like 8-9 years. For me, the moment that really solidified this was what it's worth, I felt with heart, body and soul, was that Sephiroth scene in Nibelheim, in the fire. Everything around that moment, that small little expansion we had there, you know, of being in that claustrophobic, burning environment, the little twists on the story that are just like elusive and so titillating, makes your brain like engaged, so like on the edge, so suspenseful. Like, them being able to create that feeling of me being on the edge, having Square Enix having me in the palm of their hand for a game that I've played 10, 20 times, and I've looked over a million times more than that. Yeah, this is just something that would not have been possible with a like for like. But yeah, it was the moment of crawling across the floor. I gotta say, it was a little bit dumb. Xander and the other three dudes stood there with the guns. I was just screaming. I was like, they're ranged weapons. They're ranged fucking weapons. Why are you getting this close to Sephiroth? I mean, obviously Sephiroth was gonna fuck them up no matter what. Maybe they just completely froze in fear. But, you know, they had the weapons and not a single shot was fired. Not one. It's like, Xander, what are you doing? But, like, just to see this level of detail with the descent into Sephiroth's madness, and it's imprinted in my mind, that face, that facial expression, how much more complex it was, and what a testament to Square Enix like passion and focus in recreating something truly magical, and how much their hearts are in it. Because in that moment, we've had the Sephiroth where he does the little smirk and then walks back. This was different. This was pure, like, maniacal Joker levels of unhinged for a split second, and then in 1 second later, it twisted to like rage. So like malevolence to rage, and then as he kind of turned, I don't know, you see like iris kind of wobble. You see like it drop into, well, what I interpreted as him completely resigning to this path. It's really hard to put my finger on it. It wasn't like shame, but it was just a low level emotion that in that second made me feel that range between Genova's complete madness, the anger of his trauma, and resentment towards all the people who have rejected him and manipulated him, and the isolation that he's felt. But then, of course, in that moment, you know, we know that Zack's being spared, so there is the Sephiroth with his humanity, and just in one like microsecond, like maybe a half second, to see a dude like the expression of him walking away from his humanity on top of those other extremely potent and volatile emotions, just magic, pure goddamn magic. And I can feel it, and this is what, you know, I really respected when Kitase and Nomura in those interviews they were saying, is that, you know, we've been with this product, Kitase especially, he said that this is his life's work, that he would happily retire after this trilogy and, you know, maybe come back just to make it again in another 20 years. Like, this is the stamp of his life's work. And when we had all these fans being little bitches, I'm sorry, but, you know, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but some of y'all were jumping so hard on the gun of leaping down Square Enix's throat, of dictating what this had to be. No, it can't be a trilogy, it has to be one part. You know, and Square Enix, they heard all of that, and they just came out and they said, at the end of the day, we love this game as much as anyone, they're the fuckers who made it. No, but we want to test ourselves. We want to push ourselves. We don't want to get burnt out. We want to see what are we as the developers of today, as the ones that essentially they were when they were young men. And that for that reason, you know, they didn't want to play it safe. And I don't know, it's just something I highly, highly respect. You know, that this is their child. This was what essentially stamped them on the world. Now, Final Fantasy was doing pretty well. 6, 5, and 4 days, you know, 1 to 3 put it on the map, but it was really from 4 to 6 that really elevated it. But 7's what took them to just that stratospheric level, and they could have so easily played this safe and shoehorned this all in, and we wouldn't be getting this much detail. I mean, goddamn, calm is ludicrous, guys. It truly is. I'm walking around and just I don't need to say much. I'm just rambling. You guys have been there. I'm just so happy. And I've only just started. But yeah, I'll be streaming this more or less every day. I think I might lose some time when the actual wedding happens. Up in a place called Canggu. I'm in the southern part of Bali, Uluwatu, which is a bit more quiet. Apparently Canggu's going to get crazy, and I don't even think I've got a TV in the next place. But he's actually in there now. Kind of crushing it on Queen's Blood, but mostly every morning, I think around between 6 and 8 p.m. EST. I'll be streaming over on the channel. Thank you for all you guys who drop in. I'm doing it on Final Fantasy Peasant, so if you can't make those stream times and you want to watch them, they're uploaded. And this is kind of what I also want to put these little vids out for, so we can talk about it. So anything that I didn't cover in this, or anything that you noticed that I haven't noticed or haven't spoken about, just from these sections, and really keep it to just these sections. So this is purely just up to calm, the first 10 minutes of walking around, Tifa and Cloud having this icy moment. Just before that though, Aerith and Tifa, they're getting real handsy with each other. Let's just say it straight, they like touching each other. Tifa went at her back and it was like, yay! I just had one of those actually. I just went for a massage. I got made to put on those little paper pants, little paper black panties. I went and I thought this would be one of those like annoying massages, where they just like stroke your back and they don't do much. Woman hopped up on the bench, she's like, my whole back just. I had like 10 snaps run up. I was like, oh shit! This was one of those kind of massages. The fact that Aerith just had the same reaction. I love it. I love where their relationship is going, and that they're having the talks. I feel like we're going to have a lot of sincere, authentic sort of plot reveals through those two, because they're really gaining a confidence and an understanding with each other. Like that talk about whispers, that talk about Tifa coming to Aerith to be like, where was Cloud 5 years? How do I know? And Tifa like, because I feel it. I feel that you know. And her talking about the whispers openly. Maybe I did know, but I've lost it. I like it. It really is giving me that whole like soul memory vibe. Soul memory vibe basically being that they do remember everything that their souls have been through, which is like Advent Children and beyond. And that's playing an influencing role. There's so much in the first part of the remake to show and demonstrate that. Kate Sith showing up at the plate, Reeve, because he really wanted to stop the plate. So Kate Sith like smacking his hands because he couldn't stop it. You had Tifa going back and on the roof and catching Cloud, which was a regret of hers. All of them playing out the regrets. It just is so definitive to me that their soul memory is in there, and that is also what I think is driving that wedge, because Cloud's doubt that Tifa is real is substantiated on the fact that in OG the team were tricked out of the black materia by Sephiroth and Genova disguising themselves as Tifa. And if that is cooking and marinating around in Cloud's brain somewhere, I love it. I love it. It's so small, it's so subtle, and yet it wraps in the entire compilation. It's a beautiful line, direction, trajectory that Square Enix are taking this, and your thoughts, your feelings, anything I missed, I'll see you on the next video. Kupo! It's gone on my snoot. I need to tap. Lost in Paradise, it's very, very nice. I've got one more edition, and I'm sitting there marinating. I spoke about it being a Buster Sword, not the Buster Sword. This kind of ties to me and Bree. We have different interpretations of why there's children walking around with cardboard Buster Swords. Her impression is that Zack inspired the kids. I know he has been around for like 5 years. Those kids were like 7, 8 years old. They wouldn't have been around for that. So she also was like, well, maybe Aerith talks to them about it, or maybe it was when Zack came to Mythica back in the day, around the church and the slums, and that the kids have, they looked up to him and they were inspired by him, and the Buster Sword thing is carried. I go a little bit more out there with it. I get the sense that Zack has actually sowed a mimetic legacy of his own. So a mimetic legacy, like Genova's, is kind of like a metaphysical, psychological influence on the live stream, and that's being shown, manifested through children, because they're highly sensitive to it. That's why Advent Children is the children in that game that are far more. Kids are in touch with themselves and, by Seven's logic, the planet, and that's why they have the potential to do what I think has always been Aerith's goal, to come back into harmony with nature, tending to the flower beds, and that those Buster Swords were a hint of Zack's mimetic legacy in the live stream. That's how far out there I go with that. You know, the fact that that would be a representation of the souls that have remained on the side of good. And that's what I think is the split between the world of livestream and the world of chaos. You know, the purple flower and the yellow flower. The number of times in this remake, I think when you first enter Calm, you see 4 framed pictures of purple flowers. When you enter the corridor, the camera snaps, pans straight to a purple flower, constantly reminding us that there's this division between the souls that Jenova and Sephiroth have assimilated and the ones that Aerith and the crew have assimilated. And I spoke about that on the live stream, that, you know, I think Aerith essentially does become the new Minerva, the new goddess of the live stream. You know, that's why she was the one who greeted even Kadaj, even someone as nefarious as Kadaj, into the live stream. Come on, it's okay, Kadaj, let go. And you know, the tear comes out, mother, and he goes, and even Cloud calls, and Aerith's like, why is everyone calling me mother? Like, I think that's also part of Aerith's, you know, human identity dissolving in this much bigger purpose, the fear of the great blue sky. All really, really cool stuff like that. I've got to reference it because somebody asked me, like, what's been your favourite part so far between the 2 streams I've done? And yeah, I mean, that Zack Aerith moment, you can still feel the weight of everything that Zack has just recently been through. In the tanks, in Crisis Core, that moment when he says, this is so messed up, and he just has that emotional moment. Felt it to my very wee peasanty bones. And the music, oh yeah, I didn't even shout that out. The music in this has been beyond phenomenal. I remember playing the first part of the remake and largely liking the tracks, even the ones that are like those derpy EDM house kind of musics that to me really does not fit kind of music I want for 7, but when they were placed in good quirky areas, you know, like when you fight the War Market goons, for example. But I've done so many videos on 7, so I'm always looking for new songs, and so many of them I tried to play, so I'm like, oh my god, this sounds shit. But no, so far the music that I've heard in this, oh god, you get like such incredible melodies that just overlap into Tifa's theme here, swells into Aerith's theme when she's about little tiny hints of One Winged Angel or moments where it just is generally quite beautiful, the melody, but then has those little sinister twists on it. It just shows to me that top down, the whole team that has been involved in the remake have a heartfelt understanding of 7. And that really is what is just truly magical about this. And also, credit to Square Enix, ditching off like CyberConnect and bringing it all in-house. Again, 15 had a ludicrous number of external developers, and it gets so choppy. The tonality, the themes, you can feel inconsistencies in many games where it's been outsourced to different studios, but with all of this, it's just tight and consistent, and you could just feel through. My phone died. Tight, consistent, everyone who's working on it, yeah, man, they know the heart of it. But yeah, I might as well end it. I know this is really long, I don't expect it 10 minutes, but there's Brie. She's mashing it. What did you just say to Jade and Tom?
What did I say to them?
You said, I'm going to be on this
nobody's touching the TV for 48 hours, I'm just going to plow through it.
Yeah, and what was your feeling? That's her feeling. I just had to waffle for 25 minutes about why I'm loving this first part, but that's good enough. Yeah. So you're hyped, you're loving it.
I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that they're making the relationship more realistic.
Between all of them?
Well, the more that I think about the Cloud and Tifa thing, it's just like, that is something that always seemed a bit weird that Tifa didn't say anything, but it's like a bit more like realistic that you wouldn't, like, it makes sense why she doesn't say anything in front of people. I get that. Yeah. Because it's her personality, and also she's surrounded by people she doesn't know as well. Mm-hmm. So she doesn't want to put them on the spot. Yeah. But I think that it makes a hell of a lot of sense for her to pull him aside and be like, what the fuck? And also, whenever he kind of is implying that she's an imposter, to get pissed off at him and to actually, like most people, even if you are shy, will at least say something. Yeah. So,
it's adding way more dimension to the characters, basically.
It's realistic.
Like 7 was great even back in 97 of breaking the traditional mold of the tropes, but this is going further. Even little things like when Aerith called Cloud, she's like, you arsehole.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that. And
because nobody called him out for going through her drawers.
Right.
It was just whenever he brought up the underwear.
Is there
that's ooh.
I thought I was going to die again.
Oh,
Didn't
no.
charge enough. Yeah, there wasn't any. Did you find undies? I was searching
No,
hard.
there's no undies.
There's no undies.
That kind of upset
I
me.
gotta say, if I had to put cons in to be nuanced, no undies, and also the fact
should
that
have been undies.
there was an elevator down to the basement rather than a spiral staircase.
I also was upset about the no
I used to love go down there because you were like, fuck.
It's like in Crisis Core they did a bit too much. I'm like, okay, there is not this much space underneath this fucking mansion.
Yeah,
this is
it's
ridiculous.
much tighter and cramped. Yeah. Did you try to open Vincent's door?
I did.
Yeah.
It's locked.
And yeah, on like dimensions with characters, what I really liked was because I've been harping on it in videos, and people are like, no, Pez, no, like he's just a straight up villain. Like the
Sephiroth?
dimensions of Sephiroth and the fact that they had Barrett out and out say it when it was like,
You
hold
making
up.
this motherfucker sound.
Like, he sounds like a stand-up guy. What am I
well,
missing?
he was.
He was, exactly. Like, there was big fat nuance to Sephi. And yeah, I'm very hopeful from seeing that they're going to keep going with that direction.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I want him to be more humanized.
Right?
And
Exactly.
separated from Genova as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And you don't need to be busting out Genesis and Angel to do
But
that.
that's the important thing, is to separate him from Genova. We need to hear more about Genova and learn more about Genova.
Oh, and the little
Very
tweak on
curious.
Genova Dog, so it just had that slightly longer neck, slightly more
It's
alien.
interesting.
All of it slightly more sinister. Like when you've got between the music, which is just that much richer, and also even the haptic doing things in your hands.
Yeah,
It's just
that was
like, the Mechanoid slamming up, did it make you jump again? And the Mechanoid slams up against the tank.
No.
Oh, I didn't get a jump out of you?
No.
Oh, that's like,
It wasn't that scary. I knew it was gonna happen.
yeah.
So.
Anything else? Anything else, Brie? From your little playthrough.
I'm loving it so far. I haven't done enough to say much more than that.
Yeah, I don't want to look, but she's out in the plains.
I'm out and about and I'm doing things and I'm fighting things and
Yeah.
I like the way that it plays.
It's damn good.
Yeah, it's good.
Very happy, Yeah. I asked Brie to sit and think of like a Brie exclusive, and yeah, you've got to take credit for it.
I do.
I did mention in the video.
Yeah, but I'm the one who noticed it. So
Yeah.
Cloud is a security guard on the floor,
And he says, "Ma,
and he's like, "Ma,"
ma."
and he's like
Yeah.
facing the door, and it's cool seeing how like having that background knowledge of what happens in Nibelheim, and just seeing how Cloud's confusing things that Zack says versus thing that Zack does versus thing that he does.
Yeah.
It's all like mumbled and
So mumbled,
mashed and
and then-
fucked up in his head. But it's cool to see that like Cloud does have a memory of himself, like in this flashback as
Yeah.
a security guard on the ground, but it's him. It's not just a random security guard.
Yeah.
And that's why I think there is a possibility they actually did say mom in reality, but to like keep his mental,
Yeah.
he just cuts it off as mom.
To keep the story believable,
It's very
because that's a very strong thing. I remember reading in a book that humans, we have to create like a consistent semblance of reality, and just how much it affects us if we don't have that, and that's why people have to believe in
I mean, it's cool
coping
how
mechanisms, and we
brains
project.
work. Like
It's a
we
survival
create
mechanism.
things, we fill in blanks naturally. Like it's something that our brains are just like calculated to do. Like I'm sure you know about like just our vision. Like in our vision, we fill in blanks, stuff that we see stuff that's not even actually there.
Oh yeah.
So
And once any orientation goes off, the effect that it has, and that's why Cloud is acting like a dick, but you can give him credit for it. But yeah, even just seeing, I think we all see it clear as day. I wouldn't even need to hear the voice, but just even if you just showed me Cloud like
Just
moving the way
around.
he's moving, you'd be like, that's
that's
fucking
Zack.
Zack.
Yeah.
Zack
It's
through and
really
through.
cool how they did
Like
that.
top down, everything is so tight, so consistent. The energy, the way that he moves, the ways that his eyes. I'm loving modern technology. This is making me fall in love with modern tech.
Yeah, it's great. I
Through and
also really
through.
love that, Tifa is not just like quietly dealing with Cloud being a dick.
Yeah.
She's just like very open about it, like you're being a dick.
And a quick on that point with modern tech, I would just say, I mean, everything looks phenomenal to me. Like,
I mean,
obviously you
there's
have
moments.
moments like, you know, the L'Oreal twist
Yeah.
where it looks derpy, but I'm seeing people going so
Cutscenes
hard
are
on
fun,
stuff. They're
though.
like, for example, you know, when we was in first remake and you was above, you know, with the big flashlights, you know, the renderings were like JPEG quality. I remember people posting out on Twitter and being, or Reddit, and being like, totally broke my immersion, totally ruined the game. I'm like, I'm looking at that, and obviously you can like what you like with a game, you know, if it is tech and visual consistency, it's fine, but I feel a little bit sorry for you, personally, like, if just a little derpy L'Oreal twist is not like the game.
I mean, most
Damn,
of the game
man.
looks great. It's not going to look
The
perfect.
game looks phenomenal
It's
from top down.
impossible to make a game look perfect. No one's
Yeah,
gonna have
and I think that, yeah, if you hyper-focus on that, you're doing a disservice to what is being achieved.
I mean,
the
everything
scale
else
and
is
scope
beautiful.
of what is in here,
Yeah.
like, to lose it all and just focusing on that is, that's just not it, man. But yeah, I
swim.
really just hope
You
that
can
part...
also swim.
You can also swim. I didn't even really see that, but I splashed in the pool a little bit, but she's swimming up and down calm canals.
Swim. I like swim.
Yeah, and yeah, I just really hope that part 3 of this trilogy is not on the PS6, man. I was saying on the stream, but
might
I was seeing a fucking post saying that the PS5's life cycle is nearing an end.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I
was
swear,
like,
if this goes across 3 console generations, fuck, damn.
it's alright.
Do you know how much it's been for me and Bree to get these 2 things and travel for 2 years
Maybe
with
the
them?
PS6 will be smaller.
Maybe, but we have been held up at security airport after security airport carrying this.
They were so
fucking
confused.
things.
Whenever I don't remember what country we were in, but when my PS5 went through, this guy was like he was stopped and he was like looking.
I think it was
around.
Colombia.
He was like moving it around. He's like looking at it. I'm like, that's a PS5. I
Yeah,
can
I mean,
show you.
You could get
It looked like a bomb though.
you could get a
It
couple of
looked-
brickies of cocaina in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was worried that it was a bomb though.
So quick score so far. I mean, clean 10 for me. Clean 10. I don't believe that 10
9
means perfection.
9.8.
9.8 for me. Just
I
having the.
haven't played enough to give it any kind of score.
Yeah, I'm just for the part so far. But the fact that it's made me feel like a wee little joyful boy again. Just yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
I gotta go back to
peace out, guys. Peace out. What you doing, Ginge? Looking at Is it Tifa porn?
Yeah,
Nice. Let's have a look.
Italian government website.
The Italian government. he's trading. He's trading. Gigi Boy said he's going to get on the remake.
Yeah, I need to play this, the first one, don't I, on your PS5, so. It looks good so far, though.
Yeah.
For like, seeing the first stream and then seeing parts of it without having the audio on, because you would play with headphones.
Yeah.
It's a solid game.
Solid game. Hopefully we get game of the year.
Why can't they put that effort into their newer titles and not... I know this is a newer title, but like,
Yeah.
it's still basing stuff off of 7. It's like, it's the same thing across all IPs though, and across all games, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
Remakes are doing better than...
I said it. I said we were chatting about it yesterday, weren't we? I said you
Yeah.
can just feel in games that storytelling and story writing is becoming more of a secondary or even a
Yeah.
third element.
How can we push more money in people to get more money out of people and things like that?
Yeah, or just focusing on how the game's going to build. And I get it, that shit is really intensive, but you just feel through and through the story becoming not the primary element, which that was the PS1 days. Those were the PS1 days. And you know, very quickly on that, it's like even just the beauty of Japanese storytelling. You know, for example, the river we fell in, I can't remember what it was called.
It was one of the Norse rivers, wasn't it? It was named after...
Gorfin or Gorfin, something like that. But you know, you have all the Norse themes of Niflheim, Nibelheim, Helheim, Cloud the Berserker, who can get crazy levels of strength through like emotional power-ups, and yeah, the river that soldier fell in, it was one of the 11
or 12, isn't it? And,
rivers of Niflheim, that flowed and I guess what watered the roots of the world tree, probably. I love that stuff. I just want to see if my Kabbalistic interpretations come through. And it's really, really cool to be doing it with all of the hombres and the crew. Yeah. Peace out, guys.